Did I have anything else to talk about? Let me see. Did I talk about everything? Married to Medicine. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Ooh, Kenya. Let me pull up the court documents. Kenya's landlord has finally clapped back again, child. Kenya's landlords. I gotta pull up these files. One of these documents is actually 100 pages long. I'm gonna have to say that one for Patreon. Um, let me send this to myself. And the other one is like 4 or 5 pages. I'll read the 4 or 5 page one. Yes, child, Kenya still getting evicted because Kenya ain't paying no money. And apparently, remember the last update that I gave y'all, the landlord had another attorney, had issued a substitute attorney. So I don't know if their attorney was going on break, was going on leave, whatever, but they had another attorney file a document and enter into the lawsuit. So the other attorney actually went to work, child, and the other attorney has filed 2 more documents since then. They filed an answer and defense to Kenya Moore's counterclaim, and they also filed an updated complaint. And the updated complaint is 100 pages. So I'm suspecting, because again, all of this was just filed today or last night, and I just got it today. The 99-page document, they're asking for more money, more things, updating the amounts, because again, she hasn't paid anything since December. The answer to her counterclaim is pretty cut and dry, and so I'll go ahead and give y'all that. The longer version we will discuss on Patreon. Now, y'all like this video, please and thank you. Where Team Twirl at? Is Team Twirl in the chat? Y'all need to go support your girl. She over there running to Dubai. Did she not get enough money in Dubai to pay this stuff off and go and buy her business, child? Buy her another building? Child, hold on. Hold on. I'm about to put it up here. Share screen. Document. Bam. This is the latest document. It was filed October 22nd, 2025. That was Wednesday. That is actually today, because now it's Thursday because it's after midnight. But yeah, it was filed today at 3:28. So y'all getting fresh news. Okay, fresh news. Don't nobody got this. Okay. Turn these comments off for a second. Okay, here is the plaintiff's answer and defenses to Kenya Moore's counterclaim. Now, if you recall, Moore had a counterclaim basically saying that she was not going to pay her rent into the court registry because the landlord owed her money for the improvement allowance and they had not paid her. And so this is their response to all of that. Now, the first defense, Moore Vision's counterclaim fails to state a claim against plaintiff upon which relief can be granted. Okay. Second defense, the allegations of Moore Vision's counterclaim and each purported cause of action alleged therein are not pled with sufficient particularity, are uncertain, vague, and ambiguous, and fail to meet the applicable pleading requirements. Third defense, plaintiff acted in good faith in any and all interactions with the Moore Vision and did not directly or indirectly perform any acts whatsoever that would constitute a violation of any rights of Moore Vision or any duty, if any, owed to Moore Vision. Fourth defense, any damages, losses, or expenses incurred by Moore Vision, if any, were due to Moore Vision's failure to exercise due diligence. Moore Vision, which is Kenya Moore's company, failed to comply with the contractual prerequisites necessary to obtain the landlord's contribution contemplated by the lease contract between the parties. Now, if you remember, Kenya is saying that the landlord owes her $85,000 for improvements that she made to their building. Okay. And that they in the lease they gave her an improvement allowance. Now basically they're saying that she didn't do what she was supposed to do in order to get paid the necessary funds. So that could be anything. That could be the place wasn't open and operational for business within the required or contracted time. She didn't supply them with the proper receipts and documentation of the contractual work that was performed, any of that. This is their building. This is not her building. Okay. Now it says some of More Vision's claims are barred by the doctrines of waiver, consent, release, estoppel, and or laches. More Vision's claims are barred because the damages sought by More are speculative, remote, or impossible to ascertain. More Vision's counterclaim fails to state a claim for compensatory, actual, special, statutory, exemplary, liquidated, and or punitive damages. More Vision's damages, assuming there are any, are limited to those remedies and those amounts provided for by the applicable lease contract between the parties and applicable law. Moore has failed to mitigate damages as required by law. Moore's alleged damages are the results of the acts or omissions of Moore and or persons over whom plaintiff has no control and therefore do not give rise to any liability of plaintiff. Woo! Plaintiff did not act in bad faith. Plaintiff is the landlord or intentionally harm Moore, did not cause More Vision unnecessary trouble and expense, and has not been stubbornly litigious. Therefore, the allegations of More Vision's counterclaim are insufficient to state a claim for attorney's fees and expenses of litigation against plaintiff as a matter of law. Any damages, losses, or expenses incurred by More Vision, if any, were due to More Vision's failure to perform conditions precedent. More Vision failed to comply with the contractual prerequisites necessary to obtain the landlord's contribution contemplated by the lease contract between the parties. Plaintiff reserves the right to assert and hereby incorporates by reference all affirmative defenses set forth in OCGA 911-8, 911-12, not set forth above to the fullest extent applicable. Plaintiff responds to the allegation contained in More Vision's counterclaim as follows. Now, it again, they're saying that, it was Kenya that breached the contract. It said plaintiff state that More Vision has breached the applicable lease contract between the parties because she hasn't paid rent since December, thereby excusing plaintiff's performance, failed to perform contractual conditions precedent, and otherwise waived or voluntarily relinquished its rights and interest to any portion of the landlord's contribution contemplated by the lease contract. More Vision is accordingly barred from pursuing any portion of the landlord's contribution. Well, damn. Plaintiff denies any and every allegation of More Vision's counterclaim to which it has not expressly admitted to herein. Wherefore, plaintiff respectfully prays the following. This court dismissed Moore's counterclaim for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. In the event that this court does not dismiss Moore's counterclaim, this court grant judgment in favor of plaintiff on all counts asserted in More Vision's counterclaim. All attorney's fees, they're asking for attorney's fees, expenses of litigation, and costs of this action be assessed against Moore, and the court provide any further relief. So it's interesting because they're responding to More Vision Media, and More Vision Media has been basically she hasn't paid her Secretary of State licensing, any of that. So it's been dissolved according to the Secretary of State. So I don't know what's gonna happen, child. Kenya over there playing reindeer games. Kenya is literally over there squatting in on people's place. She's refusing to pay rent to the people. She's refusing to pay rent into the registry. Kenya said she want money from the landlord, but the landlord is saying that since you're not paying us, the contract has been voided. Like you pretty much breached the contract because you stopped paying the rent as agreed. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I know Team Twirl think that I am sitting up here cheering and hoping that Kenya Moore gets evicted. I am just interested in court documents anyway. Okay. So, I mean, like I told you before, it was going to be a long process. And every single time somebody files something, it takes another 30 days. The court, it has 30 days for the other person to respond. So it's pretty much a waiting game for Kenya. Okay. Kenya squatter more. Exactly. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I know one or two people getting their hair done every month is not gonna be able to sustain the bills. Okay. You say you're gonna stick beside her. Okay, well, you go get your hair done over there and you go buy some Kenya Moore hair care products, honey. Please, Quentin, please do that for your queen. Okay. But Kenya been in Dubai. They say, what the people go to Dubai for. And can you keep going over there to Dubai, and leaving her daughter here all alone and, to make her little cash? I don't know what she's going over there for, but hopefully she's stacking her coins and she'll be able to pay and won't have to leave and be embarrassed or whatever. But I think Kenya's just hoping all of this go away because she's not on the show anymore. She's thinking that nobody's gonna notice that it's quietly gonna close. And then next thing all of her stuff gonna be on the curb and nobody's gonna know. But we're gonna keep watching. And we every single time a court document drop, I am going to report on it. I don't care. Okay. Like this video, please. Thank you. Like this video. Is anybody up? Does anybody want to chat? Okay, where is Team Twirl? Are you in here, Team Twirl? Are you in here, Candy Coated Click? Okay. Let me know. Okay. Speaking of the Candy Coated Click, the people are talking about Soldier Boy. Just the last video I did when I was telling you that Soldier Boy had cursed out Candy. They said that Soldier Boy ain't been responding, child. Candy been begging for him to come over there and tell his side. And he was like, "You didn't ask me before. Why you asking me now? Okay. You went over there and had the ops on your channel. And now you want me to talk? Fuck you." Okay. That's what I heard that he been saying. But I don't know. Who knows what may happen? Anywho, I might call it a night and might head on over to the Pantheon. Um, you said Kenya's still in that mess? Yes, child, she's still in that mess, honey. Neverland Spa. Okay. You said you thought they let it go. How they gonna let it go? Would you let it go if somebody owed you thousands of dollars in rent? Let me know. I wouldn't let it go. Okay. I didn't let it go. Shoot. If you the landlord, okay, you have to pay the mortgage. Okay. So if you're renting to somebody, it's like you're paying for them to stay there. So no, of course not. They ain't gonna let it go. They're gonna be hunting Kenya down for their money, child. Watch. You see, when Audra left married the man, she started having kids back to back. I don't even know who is Audra. Who said that? He said, "That's me driving past the shop." I actually went by there and they were closed, but it was it was in the evening. So, it's a sushi restaurant over there I like to go to. And then, my home goods that I frequent is over there. And then, it's a few places I go to over there. The Porsche dealership is down the street over there, but I haven't been to the Porsche dealership lately. But yeah, you said Candy really didn't care. She just wanted them views. She did, honey. So what they say? The S is for squatter. Oh yeah, the S stands for squatter. Okay. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, friend. Hope you like your gift. I think I mailed everything off. I hope everyone who was supposed to get gifts received them. Right. The folks is not gonna let it go, honey. The Kenya Moore and all the Team Twirl hope they let it go. Kenya is probably gonna file bankruptcy under her company name because again, they're suing her company. They're not suing her individually. The lease is in her company's name, so they're going back and forth with the company. The company has been dissolved administratively with the Secretary of State's office. Just mark my word. This is just me thinking. I don't know. I mean, it could just be my spidey senses tingling, but she gonna let all of this go through, and then she gonna file bankruptcy on the company because it's administratively dissolved, and then they're gonna have to file a lawsuit against her personally to get their money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kenya should not let this ruin her credit. She may want to purchase a newer home someday. This not gonna be on her credit. This on her business stuff, child. This is her business name. It's under More Vision Media. Remember, see, it's under More Vision Media LLC. It said and all other occupants, which could include Kenya Moore. Now, it could include Kenya Moore Hair Care. It could include Kenya Moore. So I guess if they put all of that in there, I mean, Mm. I'm not a lawyer, but but I just read the documents as if, okay. Um, you said, "I own rental property. I want my money every month." You know it, Lady Rowe. You know my situation, and maybe you know it, and maybe you knew here, but you know I rented my house to that blogger who was on crack, child, and they still mad at me to this day. As soon as you do something nice for somebody, they try to make you the villain, child. They do that all the time, and he couldn't pay, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and he could not pay, and I had to evict him, and he tore my shit up, child. Hey, Chloe, what's up? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You like my fashion over dress? I appreciate it. I like bright colors and sweaters. I do. Anywho, shout out to y'all. Join my Patreon if you want to hear the full 99 page document. I will print that out and talk about it. It's 1 o'clock. I don't know if I should do it tonight or in the morning. I'm probably doing it tomorrow. We'll do an afternoon live on Patreon tomorrow and talk about Kenya Moore's documents because I want to have time to read through them so I won't be stuttering through them. And it's 100 pages. So um I go on Patreon, but yeah, we need to save the 99 page document to a time where I can review them first. So I'll go on Patreon right after this live. ATLien After Dark. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Twitch and shout out to YouTube. I appreciate everyone. If you're just getting here, please don't forget to like and subscribe.